Walk into any Home Depot right now and you'll witness something interesting. Dads are clustering around one particular aisle, quietly grabbing bright green boxes and walking away with satisfied smirks. They're not buying drills or saws or any of the usual suspects. They're discovering an affordable tool that's solving problems most people didn't even know they had. And here's the thing that'll really twist your wrench. This budget-friendly RYOBI gadget is competing with tools that cost significantly more from brands like Milwaukee and DeWalt. Yeah, you heard that right. A fraction of the cost for essentially the same functionality. The tool industry has been playing us for years with this idea that professional grade means professional prices. They slap a red or yellow logo on something, call it contractor quality, and suddenly your wallet needs CPR. But RYOBI just walked into the party and flipped over the whole table. This isn't some flimsy plastic disappointment that'll crack the first time you use it. This is legitimate workshop gear that's making tool snobs question their entire identity. Professional contractors who swore they'd never touch anything without a Milwaukee logo are now considering these for their trucks. Because when something works well for less money, pride takes a back seat to profit margins. Here's what nobody wants you to know. The pricing differences between premium and budget tool brands often have more to do with marketing budgets than actual quality differences. RYOBI doesn't pay for Super Bowl commercials or sponsor NASCAR teams. They're just making tools that work and pricing them competitively. Revolutionary concept, right? The RYOBI inspection scope with wireless connectivity is priced affordably at Home Depot right now. That's less than a family dinner at Applebee's. Milwaukee and DeWalt offer similar inspection cameras at significantly higher price points. Same basic functionality, same ability to see inside walls and under cabinets, but those red and yellow badges add substantial cost to the price tag. It's like buying designer jeans when the store brand fits exactly the same. You're paying for a logo to make you feel special, not necessarily for better performance. This little green wonder connects to your smartphone via Bluetooth and shows you exactly what's hiding behind walls, inside engine bays, or under appliances. The camera head is small enough to snake through tight spaces, and the LED lights illuminate areas that haven't seen daylight since the house was built. I'm talking about finding that missing wedding ring that rolled under the fridge years ago, locating the source of mysterious wall scratching sounds without demolishing drywall, inspecting HVAC ducts without paying a technician just to tell you there's a dead squirrel blocking airflow. But here's where RYOBI really shows up the competition. The wireless connectivity means no clunky dedicated screen adding weight and bulk. Your phone becomes the display, which you already carry everywhere anyway. Some premium versions force you to haul around their proprietary screen units that run on specific battery systems you might not even own. That could mean additional costs for batteries and chargers if you're not already in their ecosystem. RYOBI's scope runs on standard AAA batteries available at any store. When those die, you're back in action quickly. Premium batteries die, you're waiting for a charge or buying backup batteries like you're preparing for the apocalypse. The image quality will genuinely surprise you. The resolution is sharp enough to read model numbers on hidden components or see exactly which wire connects where inside electrical boxes. Professional plumbers are using these to inspect pipe interiors before running expensive camera systems. HVAC technicians are checking ductwork without tearing apart ceilings. Home inspectors are finding hidden water damage and pest infestations that would have cost buyers significant money in surprise repairs. And they're doing it with a tool that costs the same as premium motor oil. Stories are circulating about licensed electricians who were skeptical because they're deeply committed to their premium brand preferences. But when their expensive inspection scopes were unavailable, they grabbed the RYOBI out of necessity. Months later, some report the RYOBI lives in their trucks now. The premium tools collect dust in garages because why use something bulkier and more complicated when the affordable green one does everything they actually need? Here's another aspect the tool companies don't advertise. Warranty claims and repairs often cost more in time and hassle than they're worth for expensive tools. You've got to ship the tool, wait weeks for evaluation, hope they approve the claim, then wait more weeks for return. With an affordable tool, if something breaks, you're annoyed for about 15 seconds. Then you drive to Home Depot, grab another one, and you're back to work before premium customer service even answers the phone. That's the real cost of ownership calculation nobody talks about. Premium tools tie up your time and money when things go wrong. Budget tools that actually work, they're replaceable faster than you can fill out a warranty form. The flexible cable is perfect for automotive work. You can thread it through engine compartments to check behind impossible to reach components. Mechanics are using these to inspect cylinder walls without pulling heads. That alone saves hours of labor and shop time. The flexible cable holds whatever position you bend it to, so you can aim the camera exactly where you need it and it stays put. Try that with rigid borescopes that require 2 hands to operate. This lets you work one-handed, which matters enormously when you're twisted like a pretzel under a dashboard trying to find a broken component. Real-world testing shows this scope surviving drops onto concrete, being dragged through insulation, and handling accidental moisture exposure. The camera head handles condensation and minor moisture. Obviously, don't go scuba diving with it, but for checking under sinks or in crawl spaces where it's damp, no problem. Some expensive versions have slightly better water resistance ratings, but unless you're inspecting underwater pipelines for a living, that difference is largely meaningless. It's like buying a car rated for 200 miles per hour when you're never leaving your suburb where the speed limit is 35. The app interface is impressively functional for a tool at this price point. You can capture photos and videos directly to your phone, which means showing contractors exactly what's wrong without playing charades. No more trying to describe mysterious sounds or hidden damage. Just stick the scope in, record what you see, and send the video to your plumber, electrician, or HVAC specialist. They can quote you accurately instead of showing up unprepared and needing to reschedule. That saves everyone time and prevents the classic contractor move of quoting low, then discovering problems that mysteriously increase the price. Home Depot employees report these scopes are selling briskly. Store managers are reordering more frequently than typical. Why? Because the first wave of buyers are telling their friends, who are telling their friends, who are realizing they can get professional functionality at an accessible price point. Word of mouth spreads fast when people discover value. Here's the genius of RYOBI's strategy. They don't need massive profit margins on individual tools because volume sales make up the difference. When you price something reasonably, people buy it even if they don't immediately need it. It becomes an impulse purchase instead of a carefully budgeted major investment. How many times have you walked past an expensive inspection scope thinking you'd buy it someday when the need justified the expense? That day never comes. But at an accessible price, that's buy it now and figure out uses later money. And once you own it, you discover numerous situations where it's invaluable. Automotive diagnostics become accessible to regular people instead of requiring dealership visits. Checking for rodent nests in engine bays takes minutes instead of tearing apart airboxes, hoping you find the problem. Retrieving dropped jewelry behind heavy furniture happens without recruiting 3 friends to help move everything. Inspecting attic spaces for adequate insulation or finding where that cold draft originates becomes a quick job instead of an all-day mystery. The tool pays for itself the first time you avoid calling a professional for a diagnostic visit. But speaking of avoiding professional costs, this scope absolutely helps with one of the most annoying household problems: clogged drains. Instead of blindly pouring chemicals down pipes and hoping for the best, or calling a plumber, you can actually see what's blocking your drain. Hair clump, solidified grease, toy car your kid swore didn't go down the toilet. Whatever it is, you see it clearly. Then you can target your solution instead of guessing. Sometimes it's grabbable with a coat hanger. Sometimes it needs chemicals. Sometimes it genuinely requires a professional snake. But knowing before you act saves money and prevents making problems worse. The same principle applies to HVAC troubleshooting. When your heating or cooling stops working efficiently, technicians sometimes recommend full system replacements. But if you can scope your ducts and see they're just clogged with construction debris or disconnected at a joint, you've got information to request specific repairs instead of accepting expensive quotes. Knowledge is power. And this affordable tool gives you knowledge that protects you from unnecessary costs. Pet owners are discovering unexpected benefits too. That mysterious smell in the house? Scope under the deck and find where something died instead of tearing apart lattice work. Check inside walls to see if rodents are nesting before they cause damage. Inspect crawl spaces for signs of animals without actually crawling through spider-infested nightmares. The camera goes where you'd rather not, and it doesn't complain about cobwebs or tight spaces. RV and boat owners are using these scopes to inspect through hull fittings, check wiring runs behind panels, and examine holding tanks without disassembly. Marine inspection cameras typically cost significantly more because manufacturers know boat owners are used to premium pricing for everything. But this RYOBI works well for those applications at a a fraction of the price. It handles typical marine moisture, and the wireless connectivity means you're not stringing cables through tight compartments. Real estate investors are finding these useful. Before purchasing properties, they scope inside walls near old plumbing to check for hidden water damage. They inspect attics from access panels without climbing up ladders. They verify pest control problems are actually resolved before closing. An affordable investment that helps prevent buying a money pit disguised as a fixer-upper? That's a smart decision in real estate. Here's what really stands out about premium tool pricing. Milwaukee, DeWalt, and Snap-on have convinced entire generations that quality requires maximum expense. They built cult followings around color loyalty rather than focusing solely on performance. Guys walk around with brand tattoos and bumper stickers advertising their tool preferences like it's a personality trait. Meanwhile, they're spending significantly more than necessary for similar functionality because admitting the affordable option works just as well would challenge their identity. RYOBI doesn't care about your ego. They care about solving problems affordably. Their lime green color isn't trying to be prestigious or masculine or whatever other marketing premium brands use. It's bright and visible, so you can find your tools in cluttered workshops. Function over fashion, results over reputation. And at this price point, you can't even pretend to be upset if you disagree with their philosophy. You're not making a major commitment. You're buying something useful for less than a tank of gas. The online reviews tell the real story. Numerous 5-star ratings from people genuinely pleased by the quality. They expected disposable junk and received legitimate diagnostic equipment. Reviews mention buyers who were skeptical initially but became converts after actually using the tool. That's the RYOBI effect. Prejudice melts when performance speaks. Professional home inspectors are switching to these because losing or damaging an expensive scope during a crawl space inspection is costly. Losing an affordable RYOBI? That's mildly inconvenient until you replace it. The financial stress of using premium equipment in rough conditions disappears. You work more freely, reach into tighter spaces, and don't baby the tool because replacing it isn't a financial disaster. The cable durability deserves special mention because affordable tools often fail here first. RYOBI built this with materials that resist kinking and breaking. Users report bending it repeatedly without developing weak spots. Compare that to cheap inspection cameras that snap after limited use. RYOBI found the sweet spot between disposable quality and overpriced premium. The LED brightness adjustment is another thoughtful detail. You can dial the lights up for dark spaces or down when you need subtle illumination. Premium scopes have this feature too, but those brands act like variable lighting is revolutionary technology worth the substantial premium. RYOBI included it because it matters, not because they could charge more for it. Battery life on standard AAA batteries provides extended continuous use. When batteries die, you're not waiting for proprietary lithium packs to charge. You walk to any convenience store, grab batteries, and you're operational again quickly. Premium battery systems cost significantly more, plus you need the charger. So expensive scopes actually cost much more once you factor in power requirements. RYOBI's total cost remains minimal, including backup batteries. Storage becomes effortless because this scope doesn't demand a dedicated case. Coil the cable, toss it in a drawer, and forget about it until needed. Premium scopes come with fancy cases that take up valuable space. The RYOBI fits in your pocket. That portability means it actually gets used instead of staying locked in your truck. Workshops are cluttered enough without tools requiring special accommodations. This scope lives wherever you need it without demanding its own storage ecosystem. Before these become harder to find or RYOBI adjusts their pricing, get to Home Depot soon. This is one of those rare moments where a budget brand absolutely nailed both the product and the price. You're not compromising on functionality. You're refusing to pay the premium brand tax for similar performance. Smart shoppers figured this out already. The rest are still convincing themselves that premium branding means better when it really just means expensive. Don't overpay. Be smart. An affordable price solves problems you didn't know you could solve this economically. That's the real value hiding in plain sight at Home Depot right now. That green RYOBI scope transforms workshop problem solving entirely.